Roger lives outside the Black Forest in the east of Megalith Westland. He was an upstanding soldier of the Emperor whose greatest strength and weakness were his stubbornness. After leaving the army, he became an experienced hunter who earned a living with his trade. Many dangerous animals live in the Black Forest. The most terrifying of these are not the rare magical beings but the hundreds of wolves led by the new White Fang, the new Wolf King. They use their skills in a group tactics to attack in packs, and White Fang himself has awake magic abilities within him with the help of the unseasoned power. In order to satisfy their need for food, the wolves began to appear outside the borders of the Black Forest where they found a traveler passing by. Motivated by his sense of justice, Roger determined to remove this threat to the common people. He followed White Fang's tracks and discovers the wolf had surrounded a small village in preparation to attack. Suddenly, a wolf's howl broke the silence and the pack of wolves rushed in the attack on the inhabitants of the village. Just as White Fang was about to feast on an injured little girl, Roger used his hunting instincts to launch an attack and save the girl, whose name was Ruby, and her family. Roger succeeds in pushing back White Fang and his wolves, but was injured by the Wolf King in the battle. Roger mimicked the language of the wolves to warn White Fang to leave the village. The retreating White Fang looked back at the bloodied Roger, a look of enmity in his eyes, unable to forget the fear that pierced his heart. That day Roger began to worry that White Fang would come back for revenge. He began to train Ruby in how to fight wolves. During the training, his body began to change. He knew these changes were somehow related to White Fang, for the safety of the others. Roger left the village in the secret. When Roger returned to his home, he slowly realized that the innocent power White Fang carried had begun to infect his own body. Even one of a pure heart, one misses not once his nightly prayers, is helpless to resist the Lupian transformation in the dark grass under a moonlight sky. On the night of the full moon, Roger was horrified to discover that the legend was true. As he transformed into a werewolf in order to avoid hurting others in the transformed state, he had no choice but to leave his home.
Till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go.
It was another peaceful night in a remote village among the dark forest, but interrupted by the vicious howling of the wolves from afar. In a small cabin, a little girl was kneeling on her bed praying. Next to her stood disproportionately giant psychics. Indeed, she was praying for the return of the legendary hunter, Roger. Only he could save the village from being vandalized by the wolves. To the south of Moynihan lies a sapphire-like speck amidst the misty mountains. It is in fact the Swan Lake, named after the beautiful Yate, a three-titative swan's castle that lies on the lake's shores. Many years ago, the Regina family fled from the empire's capital to the lake in order to escape political conflicts and erected a swan-like castle. According to the legend that when Odette, the 13th generation son, was born, swans flocked to the castle to pay their respects. Princess Odette is said to have a contagious smile, leading people to say she is a goddess in human form. In order to match the praise that people have piled on her, Winder mastered that most difficult of noble magics. Despite being universally admired, Odette had been lonely at her heart until chance brought her to a Lancelot, whose once had led him to faint on the lake shore. During Lancelot's recovery, the two sons develop a deep and unconditional love. Lancelot hails from the Berwick family of the land of Down. At young age, he shone extreme talent in the art of fencing, garnering the praise of the masses to the extent where they eventually became lost in delusions of grandeur. When the magical tribes to the south attacked Lancelot, who had just awoken from a drunken stupor, arrogantly attacked them alone. After winning a few battles, he dropped his guard and pursued the remaining force. But soon the tribes regrouped and defeated him, sending him plummeting to the mountain depths. He was found and nursed back to health by Princess Odette, and soon became enamored with her purity. Understanding how wrong he was to be so arrogant and shallow in the past, while recovering at Swan Castle, Lancelot soon realized the magical potential of the Regina family, and was to able and was able to integrate it into his fencing, culminating in the Shadow Step maneuver. Now, he once again sets foot in the arena battle to the test of his new skills. In the far northern reaches of Nostgal, there is a legend. When a warrior dies on the battlefield, the goddess of war Freya will come down from heaven, kiss the spirit of the fallen, and lead it to Temple of Heroes, where former warriors can have a new life. Freya herself is an outstanding warrior. She can both attack and defend with her sword and shield, and at a critical moment in battle she can transform in a halberd and smash the enemy formation.